there, my name is Adeola. You're welcome to another episode of Olabooks Readers Review, where I have been featuring myself reading my book Colors of Love. Thank you so much for joining me. And if you're joining me for the first time, I've introduced myself. I've told you what I've been doing. I've been reading Colors of Love. And you will agree with me after watching this episode that this is a really interesting book. All right, so because this is the 10th episode, I would like for you to go to the description below and click on the links to the previous episodes so you will know where we're coming from. And I also advertise my books. As you can see, I have a lot of them here. When I started this program, I only had two books. I had The Waiting Room and Colors of Love. But today I have two children books. I have My Play Space. I have a Mama's Favorite. And I have all these links down below to where you can make a purchase. You can also reach out to me in the comment section to let me know you are willing to buy one of my books. And I will give you the directions to where to go. All right, let's go back into reading. But I just want to give you the summary of what we did the last time. Last time I finished reading chapter 3 of Colors of Love, and today I'll begin reading chapter 4. But a quick summary. All right, so Jenny and Carrie were shopping at Macy's when who walked up to them? Susan walked up to them, and she introduced herself as Tosin's lifetime girlfriend. And who is Tosin? Carrie's boyfriend, Carrie's fiance. Okay, so I will begin reading from The Broken Hearts, which is chapter 4 of Colors of Love. Okay, come along with me. The silence in the car on the drive home was uncomfortable. Carrie had run out of the store into the safety of her car. Jenny ran after her, yelling out her name. Jenny had expected her to burst into tears, but she did not. She sat there for a long time looking straight ahead, but in deep thought. Jenny talked to her, but she refused to reply. After a while, Carrie began the drive home. The silence was very uncomfortable. Jenny didn't know what to do. Then, on impulse, she turned on the radio. Kirk Franklin's song, My Life is in Your Hand, was on. Carrie motioned to turn the radio off, but she stopped as her fingers touched the turner. Tears rolled from her eyes. Jenny looked at her with empathy and asked if she would let her drive. Carrie shook her head. I got it, she said. Jenny was relieved that she at least said something. When they got back to Carrie's apartment, she went straight to her room and picked up Tosin's picture from her dresser. She said, Tosin, why would you do this to me? The sobs came softly and grew louder. Jenny held her close in an embrace and cried with her friend. She knew the pains of heartbreak. She could feel for her friend. Why would men be ruthless all in the name of love? However, was this even love? Is deceit love? Love is patient and love is kind. It does not envy and it does not boast. It is not proud. It does not dishonor others. And it is not self-seeking. It is not easily angered. It keeps no record of wrongs. She recited this passage in her head as many times as possible. She remembered it each time a man tried to get close to her. How could men be so cruel and heartless? Showing a woman so much love and making her fall in love with them and then breaking her heart. She thought it was the height of evil. Carrie calmed down and released herself from her friend's embrace. She sat on her bed, took her shoes off, and lay on the bed. She was in deep thought. Jenny did the same beside her. They were in this same position when Jenny told her the story of her love life with Alan. Jenny broke the silence. A penny for your thoughts, please. Could it be true? Yenny could eat? I mean, how can I explain the fact that Tosin is hiding such a secret from me? Moreover, he is cheating on me too. She was now getting angry. I am glad you're talking, Yenny said. The only way we can find out the truth is if you confront him with what you know. Who knows? Susan could be a jealous ex-girlfriend. Why wouldn't he tell me about her if she was his ex? I want to believe that this is the answer to the mysterious dreams I've been having. I knew something was fishy. She received a text message, picked up her phone, and whispered, "Speaking of the devil." With that, she threw her phone. Fortunately, it missed the wall. It landed on the pile of clothes in her closet. Jenny got up, picked up the phone, and read the message. "Hey, love, just missing you." "Why not give him a call?" Jenny said, giving her the phone. "I don't want to talk to him," Carrie said. "In fairness to him, you owe it to him to hear him out," Jenny continued. "How about you invite him over and ask him about Susan? You don't know Susan. She could be a blackmailer for all you know." In response, Carrie took the phone and texted him back. "Do you mean you missed Susan? When were you going to tell me about her?" "Well, she can have you to herself. You don't need me." Tosin read the text message and almost had a heart attack. He dialed Susan's work number. He heard her voice from the other end. "Good afternoon, Gigi Associates. How may I help you?" "You may help me by fixing the damage you have done," he lashed out. "How could you? You talked to her after I told you not to. You are ridiculous." Tosin was fuming with anger. "Slow down, lover boy. I'm at work," Susan replied slowly. "How about we talk later?" "We talk right now." "You must excuse me. I have another call on line 2. She put him on hold to receive other calls. Each time he called, she hung up on him. She finally excused herself to go home, blaming it on family emergency. Upon leaving the building, she was face to face with Tosin. "You scared me," she said after bumping into him. "I will do more than scare you if you don't make right what you did wrong," Tosin growled. "You are not trying to make a scene at my work, are you?" She walked away and he followed her. They went to their usual spot and spoke at length. All right, so I'm going to stop reading right here on page 35. So they're having a discussion. So what I really want to talk about here is this. When you begin a relationship, this new relationship deserves your sincerity. And what do I mean sincerity? You're supposed to discuss your past relationships. Okay, oh, I've had a girlfriend before. I had this boyfriend before. Or this one hurt my feelings in the past. This is how it went, and this is what happened. This is how we ended it. So, even when a blackmailer is walking up to you, telling you some things about your boyfriend or about your fiance, you will know that what that person is saying is either the truth or not the truth, because your partner had discussed his or her past with you. Nobody really wants surprises. The way Susan walked up to Carrie to tell her about her being his lifetime girlfriend, even if that was a lie, I'm not saying it's a lie or not a lie, we're going to find out as we continue to read. Even whatever that was, if Tosin as at one point in time told Carrie about a girl named Susan, then this wouldn't have been a total surprise to Carrie. So let me know what you think. Leave me a comment. And I want to say that I really appreciate you all for all your comments. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you. And I want to say that if you have not subscribed to this channel and you love it, please subscribe, like, share, and comment. The Lord bless you as you do so. Until next time, when I bring you another video, when I continue reading this story, I want to say stay blessed. Hello there. My name is Adiola. You're welcome to Olabooks Readers Review, where I read my published stories. So far, I've been reading Colors of Love, and I started reading chapter 4 in the last episode, and I will continue from where I stopped the last time. So without wasting much of your time, I am going to delve right into reading. So while I open up the pages, I just want you to know that you can purchase this book on the links down below. I have the description down below where you can purchase Colors of Love and all the other books that I have published. All right, so stop by today and pick yourself a copy. And also, if you have not subscribed to this channel and you enjoy this story, or you would like more of it, I would like for you to subscribe to my channel and also hit the bell button so you can get a notification when I drop a new video. All right, let's dive into reading. So I will continue from page 35. She walked away and he followed her. They went to their usual spot and spoke at length. Susan made him realize that he could not just walk away from her after 5 years of an intimate relationship. She had had a series of abortions and he had promised to marry her. She said she would only allow him to marry another girl if he could make her pregnant before he walked away. Susan said she was over with men because of the way he treated her and was ready to be a single mom. Tosin thought he had no choice but to agree. However, she wanted to be pregnant before she would go back to Carrie and make her believe that she had blackmailed him. Meanwhile, after she got home alone, Carrie was in deep thought. She couldn't sleep. Her mom called and sensed something was wrong with her daughter, but Carrie waved aside her fears. She couldn't tell her. How could she? When she was hoping all would still be well between them. Oh God, let this all be a very bad dream, she said, and burst out crying. Jenny heard Carrie crying. She rushed out of the room to the living room. Jenny stood still for a little bit, watching her cry. She then walked up to her and held her in a tight hug. Has he replied to your text message? She shook her head as fresh tears began to roll down her cheeks. I guess there is no explanation, she said between sobs. I don't know what to do. It's too early to make any decisions, Jenny said. You need to relax. I believe he has some explanations for what Susan told us. Just then, his text message came in. I don't know what Susan told you, but it must be a lie. She is a blackmailer. We need to talk about this right now. Can I come over? Carrie replied yes. He was hoping to spend the night at Carrie's. As Jenny popped her head out of the bedroom to offer a greeting, his heart sank. He had thought of sweet-talking Carrie to bed after a brief conversation. It wasn't going to work out that way with her friend in the apartment. Have you come here to stay at my friend or to talk? Carrie asked, irritated. I'm sorry, Tosin said. I was hoping you would introduce your visitor. That's not why you are here. Oma Yenny. Yenny works better, she said, offering him a handshake. Tosin, nice meeting you, he said, shaking her hand. I hope I can say that too, Yenny said, sending him a dagger with her eyes. I'll leave you two alone to sort things out. She went back into the other room. I am all ears, Tosin, Carrie said, sitting down. You may take a seat. What did she tell you? Tosin asked. Who is she? Carrie asked. I mean Susan. What did she tell you? Why would you want to know? I want to hear it from you. He sighed. None of his planned tricks seemed to be working. He had thought he could use Carrie's words against her. Now she was not talking. If you have nothing to say, you may leave. I believe Susan told me everything I needed to know, Carrie said, close to tears. No, I do have something to say. Susan is my ex. She wants our relationship to continue, but I have always refused every one of her attempts to come back to me. I love you, not her, and she knows this. Therefore, she came to you to try to ruin our relationship. Your ex? Why didn't you ever say anything about her? Your ex who dared to walk up to me and tell me that she was your lifetime girlfriend? That she wouldn't mind sharing you with me? Are you a piece of meat? She is okay with sharing, but I am not. You have not been able to convince me that she is your ex. Please, leave me alone. I need to be alone. You have to believe me, Carrie. We are no longer together, Tosin pleaded. I said get out, Carrie said and burst into tears. He tried touching her and she screamed. Yenny came out of the room, opened the door for him, and gave him the same cold stare. He left. After his departure, Yenny allowed her friend to cry a little longer, and then she asked her, What do you think? I think he's telling a lie, she replied broken-hearted. I think so too, her friend agreed. I couldn't help hearing everything that he said. So, what's next? What if he loves me and he wants to stop the relationship with Susan? Maybe we can still work things out. Maybe what, Carrie? What he is doing is called double dating. If he can double date at this stage in your relationship, then he would, at one point or more in your married life, have a secret affair. Moreover, just like it happened, you would pray. God will reveal the secret to you, and it will be harder for you to handle then than now. I am your friend. I will not hide my feelings from you. I say, quit. It might not be easy for you to do it, but I say, quit. I am going to bed. I want you to join me very soon. Good night. Neither Yenny nor Carrie could sleep that night. Yenny was thinking about her experience with Alan and couldn't help linking it with that of her best friend. Why did they share the same things in common? Well, maybe not everything, because Carrie was not pregnant. Yenny knew her friend loved Tosin so much, and it wasn't going to be easy for her to break up with him. She also knew that Tosin would come back with more lies, and it was possible that her friend would fall back into his trap. Moreover, Carrie was not sharing with her mom. Sharing the situation with her would have made it easier for her to break up with him. Yenny loved her friend so much and did not want her to go through any more emotional trauma. However, she could do nothing to stop this. It was her friend's decision. Then she thought about why she had not given another man a chance. Looking at her friend hurting was a good reason for her to keep on running away from men. But that night, another thought crept into her heart. If she was able to detect that Tosin was telling a lie, it would mean that her experience with Alan was worth it. She also thought that if God could answer Carrie's prayer by exposing her fiancé's secret, then she could trust God to do the same for her. Carrie's story seemed a fantastic testimony to her. She only prayed that her friend would take heed and flee for her dear life instead of thinking that he will change. So I am going to stop reading right here on page 39, and I will continue from there the next time. And I quickly want to say something about this. This is really serious, you know. And when you discover something like that, at that point where you are thinking, where you're beginning to plan your wedding, and you discover that your partner is having an affair or had an affair you didn't hear about, and you think he's trying to cover something up, what should you do? There's a saying that a broken relationship is better than a broken marriage. What do you think? They are the points where they are already planning to get married. I will say they're already married because they're already that close. That feeling is already there. They're already thinking about how their life will be together. And then something happens and you're thinking of breaking up that relationship. What would you think? Well, as for me, I would say the moment you find out something is wrong and cannot be corrected, as long as you are not yet at the altar, you need to back up. It might not be easy, but it will be easier then than for you to back out when you get married, because you will think about other things, especially when you already have children. You think about your children, you will think about, your families, you think about everything, and you will try to wait and see if it's easy. And it's not easy. Breaking up a marriage is not advisable, and it's not easy, depending on what the situation is. So if you are so lucky, if you are so blessed to find out something that will be a stumbling block to your married life, you need to back out quickly. All right, I'm done here today, and I will say have a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful week. Do not forget to subscribe. Bye. Hello there. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My name is Adeola. You're welcome to the 12th episode of Olabooks Readers Review, where I have been reading my published story, Colors of Love. All right, without wasting your time, I would like to go right into reading. If you have a copy, I would like for you to bring it out. Let's read it together. These 10 minutes every week has been helping some people to read. If you have been longing to read and you do not have the time to read because of your schedule, you can always join us every Friday at 12:30 Eastern Time, where I read my published story for 10 minutes. And that 10 minutes can be your break time, can be a refreshing time for you, can just be a time you set aside to say, okay, let me just be by myself. And you know what some people have told me? They said sometimes they just put on their headphones and they just listen to the story, So you can sit down and watch, or you can just listen as you do some other things. And for some of you who have requested for longer videos, this is what I have done. I have put together some videos. I have episodes 1 to 5. I have episodes 1 to 9. And I will continue to make longer episodes. That way you can listen to the story all in one sitting if you like, or maybe in 2 or 3 sittings if you like. So try that. Listen to it like you're listening to a podcast, and you can go ahead doing other things as you listen, especially moms, who will be in the kitchen, maybe making food or cleaning dishes, maybe sweeping. You can be doing some household chores and you will have your headphone on your ears and you will be listening to this story. Try it. It worked for some people. It's still working for them. So you can do that. So I will have more videos, longer videos, like putting episodes together for you in one video. All right, so let's delve into reading. I would like to go back a little bit so that you can, understand where we're coming from last week. So I will go back and start from page 39. I will start from the middle of the page. All right, let's read. You know where to get my books. They're in the links in the description below, okay? And if you're yet to subscribe to this channel and you are enjoying the story reading, I would like for you to take this moment, just hit that subscribe button down there and We can continue. Thank you for doing that. All right, so moreover, Carrie was not sharing with her mom. Sharing the situation with her would have made it easier for her to break up with him. Yenna loved her friend so much and did not want her to go through any more emotional trauma. However, she could do nothing to stop this. It was her friend's decision. Then she thought about why she had not given another man a chance. She knew she was afraid of another heartbreak. Looking at her friend hurting was a good reason for her to keep on running away from men. But that night, another thought crept into her heart. If she was able to detect that Tosin was telling a lie, it would mean that her experience with Alan was worth it. She also thought that if God could answer Carrie's prayer by exposing her fiancé's secrets, then she could trust God to do the same for her. Carrie's story seemed a fantastic testimony to her. She only prayed that her friend would take heed and flee for her dear life, instead of thinking that he will change. Then her thoughts switched to that of the men that had been asking her out. She thought about Peter, who worked in the same school where her sister was the kindergarten teacher. She smiled when she remembered the way he handed her a flower with a silly, uneasy look on his face. She thought of how clumsy he was when he was talking to her. He was a wimp. She couldn't have fallen for him. Then she thought about Edward. Edward was a replica of Alan. That kind of irritated her. She didn't need another Alan, not in this world or the next one. Then she thought about Ralph, her neighbor. Interestingly, a warm feeling crept up in her heart for him. She had been too hard on him. She admitted, and she kept on postponing the apology. She gave him a dirty slap. That was uncalled for. She could have maybe pushed him away or taken a step backward. He had tried several times after the incident to talk to her. Perhaps she could give him a chance. Maybe, just maybe. Carrie, on the other hand, was thinking about how she could fix her already broken relationship. She wouldn't tell her parents. Carrie would wait for him to call her again and give him audience. She would make him promise to cut off the relationship with Susan. Ask God for forgiveness, and they could go ahead and get married. If prayers could reveal the secret, prayers should fix a repentant heart. She would marry him, and they would live happily ever after. However, what if he loved Susan more than he loved her? What if Susan lived up to her threats and kept him as her secret lover? What if what Yenny said comes true? What if he became unfaithful to her in their marriage? Tears rolled down her face again. She had to call her mom. She needed motherly advice. She cried herself to sleep. When her alarm clock rang in the morning, she called in sick. Yenna left early the next morning with a promise to give her a call every day. She left only after a prayer with her. So I have come to the end of chapter 4. Thoughts, thoughts, thoughts. Yenny was there thinking about herself. Why is she not ready for another relationship? Oh, maybe she should give Ralph a chance. Maybe. You know, as a girl, when you're already thinking, maybe it's not a bad man. Maybe I should just give him a chance. Yenny is right there now, okay? So let's see what Yenny will do in the next chapter. So let's talk about Carrie. Carrie is still with a heavy heart, and she's still thinking, oh, what will I do? I've gone so far into this relationship, I'll just let it be. Maybe I should just go ahead and marry him. What if prayer could fix him? That's where I'm going. Do you think that prayer can fix a man you want to marry to? Now let's look at it this way. The fixing we're talking about here is not like you're praying, God, please touch this man's heart, let him change. Yes, that is a good prayer. But this is what I'm saying. Do you think prayer can fix a man's character? This is a grown man. This is a character he has built from right when he was a child. He has grown up to be like that, and you want to get married to him, and you want to pray to God that because you are marrying this man, he has to change. Do you think such prayers are answered? Don't get me wrong, I believe so much in prayers. Prayers work more than magic. Prayers work, and prayers work permanently. I believe in that. But when it comes to getting married to a man, when it comes to a man you will live with the rest of your life, do you think that man can be changed for your purpose? Let me know what you think. Or if you had had an experience like that and you think prayer changed the man, please let us know. How long did it take for prayer to change the man? Did the prayer change the man? Are you still in that relationship? Are you still in that marriage? I, for one person, would like to know. Why am I saying this? I, to the glory of God, I am wonderfully and beautifully married, and I am very happy. And if he asks me over and over again, I will keep on saying I do. Okay? I am happily married. But I'm just saying it for the sake of those who are just getting ready to be married. I want them to know if it is easy. If you will hear from me, this is what I think. And this is what I have seen that has happened to people around me and people that I've seen. You cannot change a grown man. That is who he is. If that is who he is, when you met him, just have it in your mind that that is who he is. Okay? Don't think you can change a man. You cannot change a man. It takes the Holy Spirit. It takes the grace of God to change a man. So don't think you can change a man. And if you're waiting on God to change a man, you have to wait. You don't know how long it will take because you are not God. You don't know how soon it will be. It might take a month or 2 months, or it might take 10 or 20 years. So if you're ready to deal with that situation in that man's life for a long time while you wait for a change, then maybe you can go ahead. But if you think you have better things to do with your life, if you think you have other things like you have things you want to happen quickly, you prefer happiness, you prefer to be joyful, you prefer a whole lot of things other than waiting for one man to change, I would think for you to look for another man. So if I'm wrong, please leave me a comment. Thank you so much. I've taken your time again today. And if your time has been worthwhile, please leave me a comment. Please leave a like on this video. And please subscribe and share. The Lord bless you as you do so. Thank you. Bye. Have a blessed day. Grab the car keys and wash out of it. I read my book titled Colors of Love. Thank you for joining me again today. My name is Adeola. You're welcome to another episode of Olabooks Readers Reviews, where I have been reading my book titled Colors of Love. So, this is the 13th episode. And for that reason, I have giveaways for everybody who has been watching my videos right from the very beginning up till today. If you are joining me for the first time, I say big welcome to you. And I would like to invite you to go to the description column below, where you will be able to view links to previous episodes and also links to where you can purchase any of my books. So for the giveaways, I want you to stay with me till the end of the reading today, and then I will announce the giveaways, okay, and the criteria for winning all of those giveaways. Okay, so today I will continue reading from chapter 5. And before I continue reading, I would like to say that I almost did not make this video, but I thank God that I was able to make it. All right, so I will continue reading from chapter 5. This is what the beginning of chapter 5 looks like. The beginning of each chapter comes with beautiful pictures. Okay, so come along with me. Omolara Jackson did not hesitate to board the next available flight to the US after she heard what her daughter had to say about her fiancé. Out of her 4 children, Carrie was the only one she worried most about, all because she lived far away from her. Carrie had always been a daddy's girl. Omolara did not like the idea of her daughter living by herself, but she had no choice. A 28-year-old girl is old enough to live her life the way she wants it. She only prayed that her daughter would listen to the voice of reason and let Tosin go. From what she'd heard of him, she concluded he was a cheat and not fit for her daughter. 14 hours on the plane was not a joke. She would have enjoyed it like she always did if not for the fact that she was worried about her daughter. She didn't want her to make the same mistakes she had made that landed her where she was, an older single woman. She smiled at the category she grouped herself into, single woman, not mother, because none of her children lived with her. At 58, she looked like she was in her mid-40s. What a loss for James Jones, who deserted her when she needed him the most. It was a pity that her arrogant lifestyle landed her in trouble. She lived in great regret and didn't wish any of her children to be in her shoes. She had 3 girls and a boy. Carrie was the last of them. She wished Carrie had listened to her and stayed back in Nigeria with her. How sad that she had no control over her decision. Her mind went back to how she met James Jones. She was very young and fresh out of college. She was just 22 and was ready to get her first job. She was one of the lucky young girls who, because they were brilliant, got admitted into the universities early. She was beautiful, knowledgeable, arrogant, and she made straight A's. Her life soared in bright colors. She only dated boys from luxurious homes. She never talked to boys who were struggling to survive. That was how she met James. She had visited her friend Rashida in Lagos Island when she met him. He was a visitor from the USA and was going to stay with Rashida's family for about 3 months. He liked her and she liked him too. When he asked her out, she was prudent enough to ask Rashida about him. She told her he was her daddy's business partner, but she said he had a family in America. Omolara was sad at the realization that he was married and he was asking her out. She confronted him with the story, but he was shrewd enough to let her know that he was married to a white lady, but he wanted to add a Nigerian wife. According to him, he was in the middle of a divorce with his white wife. If everything worked out well between him and Omolara, he would marry her. Things went well until she got pregnant. Before anybody could access their relationship as either working out or not. Her father disowned her. He was disappointed in her because he was already thinking of talking to her about getting a master's degree since she was still young. James did not disappoint her. He got her an expensive apartment and lavishly furnished it. She lacked nothing. At least nothing money could buy. However, he never married her. She was his mistress for 9 years. Her father would not give her hand to him in marriage. Within 9 years, she had 3 children. She found out on their 10th anniversary that he did not marry her because he was still married to the white lady and not because her father was adamant. She cried herself sore. He had cheated her. She lamented. However, he denied the allegation. Omolara was invited to Houston, Texas by one of her friends, and she traced James to his home. She saw his wife and his 2 children and introduced herself as his wife from Nigeria. He denied her. She aimed to let the cat out of the bag so that his wife would divorce him and he would have no choice but to marry her, but that didn't work. He said he would rather stay single or marry another woman from the States if his wife should divorce him. According to him, Omolara was kind enough to care for his children, and she was his Nigerian mistress. She better stay that way or she would never see him again. She was devastated. If he treated her that way, then she could do it too. One night, she went to the club with her American girlfriend, got drunk, and woke up in a strange bed. It was Jax's bed. He liked her since the first day he set his eyes on her. He didn't touch her in the wrong way. He helped her home because she was drunk. She eventually had an affair with him, which resulted in Carrie. Like her previous relationship, he wouldn't marry her. He was engaged but had lied to her. She had had her fair share of regrets in life, and she didn't want Carrie to go in the same direction. If this Tosin boy was to cheat, she wanted him out of her daughter's life at all costs. She was ready to share her life story with her daughter. Carrie, on the other hand, oblivious of her mother's journey, was happy to have a busy day. She was neck deep in sorting out files and rearranging her new office. Carrie needed the heavy load of work to keep her mind away from her relationship. It was heading for the rocks. Or was it already on the rocks? She shivered each time she thought about it. The bitter truth was that she was not ready to let it go. She loved him too much. She had returned his text message the night before. She wanted him to give her some time to think the whole situation through. She pushed the thought out of her mind as she walked. She quickly grabbed an offer to work late. Yenny had returned to Washington, D.C. She was going to return to an empty house. She would rather stay at work than return to an empty silence. All right, I'm going to stop reading on page 48 today, and quickly I'm just going to pass the comments. All right, I want to know, what are your thoughts about live-in lovers? Well, I do not have anything about live-in lovers. If that is your agreements from the start, both of you have agreed that you will live in lovers, you're not thinking towards marriage, that's okay. You agreed, and you can do what you agreed on. But if your intention is to get married and you both agreed to live together, now for how long do you want to live together before you get married? In the case of Omalara Carrie's mom, she lived with this man for 9 good years. 10 years. And she had 3 children while she was waiting that they would be married. So to me, that doesn't really make any sense. If you want to be married to someone, then be married, to the person. Why wait 9, 10 years after you have had all your children? The marriage may never happen. In most cases, the marriage doesn't happen. All right, so I don't know. I just want to know what you think about it. If you think it's a good idea, if you think it's not, just leave me a comment. And so the giveaway, I promise. All right, so I'm also an Avon representative, so I'm going to leave the link to my Avon site in the description below, where you can choose what you want. And the giveaways are items between $5 and below. So if you choose items worth $1 up to $5, that's still $5. Okay, so the giveaway today is $5 and below. Okay, I'm not a 5 below, but that's just my giveaway today. All right, so what's the criteria for winning? Number 1, you have to be subscribed to this channel. Number 2, you like this video. And number 3, I just want you to leave me a comment about Colors of Love. Just one thing or more that you like about the story. Just tell me something about the story. That's all. If you do all of these 3 things, then you win the giveaway. It's $5 and below. Check out the Avon site to pick anything you want under $5. So that will be all for today. If you like this video, and let me quickly add to this. Well, if you're in a region where I may not be able to reach you with the gifts that you have chosen, I would just like for you to let me know. As soon as you answer the question in the comment section, I will reach out to you and I will ask how I can deliver your $5 to you. All right. And this will last until next Friday. From this Friday, which is October 30th, until next Friday. That's when the giveaway is open. So hurry up, put in your comments, and I'm going to send you your gifts. So if you like this video and you would like more of it, I would like for you to subscribe, like, comment, and share. And the Lord bless you as you do so. Thank you so much for joining me. Have a fabulous weekend. Bye. Grab the car keys and rush out of here. I read my book titled Colors of Love. Hello there. Thank you for joining me again today. My name is Ideola. You're welcome to another episode of Olabooks Readers Reviews, where I have been reading my book titled Colors of Love. Don't you forget, your comments are always welcome. All right. Last week, I began reading chapter 5, titled A Mother's Experience. And today, I will conclude the reading of chapter 5. All right? Come along with me. All my links are down below, so where you can purchase all of my books. Olabooks, internationalselfpub.com, amazon.com, Barnes & Noble, and many more online bookstores. All the links are below. And links to previous episodes of my readings, Olabooks Readers Reviews, are also down below. All right, let's delve into reading. Page 48. She was surprised when she saw her mother walk through the door into her office. She rushed to her to give her a warm embrace. Tears of joy rolled down her cheeks as she repeated, "I love you, Mom. You couldn't have come at a better time." She gave her mom the keys to her apartment and put her in a cab. "Go home and wait for me. I must work late today because I accepted the offer. I should be with you in about 3 hours. Call me as soon as you get into the apartment." Omolara settled in. She was glad to have a warm apartment to herself. She made herself a cup of coffee with some biscuits she found in the refrigerator. She had dozed off when Carrie walked in. She was so tired she didn't even stir in her sleep when Carrie walked in. Carrie cleared the coffee table of her empty cup of coffee and paper napkin of biscuits. She undressed and was walking past her sleeping mom on the couch into the kitchen when she woke up. "Oh, you're back," Omolara said, in between a yawn. "Yes, Mom. I didn't want to wake you. I knew you were exhausted from the long journey." Omolara agreed that she was fatigued, and when she said she thought it was old age, they both agreed that was true. But Carrie insisted that she didn't look her age. Carrie suggested to her mom to get a hot bath while she made dinner. While her mother was in the bathroom, Carrie opened a can of beef soup, dumped it into a pot, and let it simmer for a couple of minutes. She then added some powdered hot pepper to give it that spicy taste her mother loved. While waiting on the soup, Carrie toasted some slices of bread and made tuna. She also had available her favorite kale salad. The table was ready by the time her mother came out of the bathroom. She knew her mother would eat the salad first. She loved kale salad. I do too. Dinner went smoothly. They talked about things in general: her job, her siblings, her dad, and they were both yawning at 11 p.m. When Omolara suggested that they go to sleep so she wouldn't be late for work the next day, she said she would have taken the day off, but there was a lot of work to be done. She would finish setting up her office the next day, which was a Tuesday, and find out if she could get a colleague to work for her on Wednesday. That way, she could spend a whole day with her mom. Her mother wanted her to go to work every day. She would have the entire weekend with her, she said. Besides, she would be waiting for her after work every day. They spoke about almost everything, but never mentioned that night the reason why she came. However, they got to it the next day. Her mom had prepared a local delicacy before she returned from work. It was her favorite spinach soup, cooked with three different blends of pepper: bell pepper, habanero pepper, dry chili red peppers, and onions. popularly called a 4-year-old. She added 3 different kinds of seafood: dried shrimp, dried catfish, and stockfish. She also made some pondo yam. Carrie didn't take her work outfit off before she went for the food. She was appreciative as she ate. The spicy taste was the best part of the meal. Omolara offered to do the dishes while Carrie took a bath. They were both seated in front of the TV when Omolara broached the subject of her visit. She wanted to hear everything that transpired between Carrie and Tosin. Carrie told her story without leaving anything out. Omolara said almost the same thing that Yemi said. She wouldn't lie to her. She said outright that Tosin was a cheat. He might claim to love her, but she didn't believe in such a love that keeps secrets and other affairs. What would he do after they were married? She went ahead to narrate the story of her life. I want you to learn from my mistakes and not repeat them. The decision is yours to make, but I want you to be reasonable. She further explained to her that all her other siblings were happily married. She would want Carrie to be too. She didn't want any of her children to suffer from the hands of a man like she had. Love in the right direction is the best thing that could happen to a woman. Carrie promised to think about it because she still hadn't made up her mind to let go. She asked him to give her 2 weeks to think about the situation. Her mother prayed with her on the issue that night before they went to sleep. She knew she couldn't do more than pray and advise her. The decision was for her to make. Carrie couldn't sleep for a long time. After the discussion with her mom, she knew she wanted her to break up with Tosin, but she couldn't. Breaking up with him didn't sound right. What would she tell her friends? Also, colleagues at work. Most of her church members knew she was getting close to getting married. What would she tell them? She was already thinking of settling down and getting pregnant, having babies, and living a happy married life. What would happen to that? Should she just let Susan take away what belonged to her? If Tosin is choosing me over her, then I am the winner. That was her thoughts. I shouldn't let the devil possess my possession. Tosin keeps saying he loves me, not Susan. That's all I need. I mean, I should be proud of the fact that out of 2 women, I am the chosen one. I think my prayer point should be for God to make everything possible for me to marry Tosin. He needs my prayers to stay faithful to me, and he needs my prayers for our love to stand. I think I will start praying right away. She did. Her prayer points were for God to keep Tosin for her, give him the grace to stay away from other women, and for him to love her more. With that prayer said, she fell asleep. What she didn't know was that while she was praying, Tosin was spending the night with Susan. He needed to get her pregnant. All right, I just finished reading chapter 5. So what do you think? Well, I don't have too much to say about Carrie. It looks like she's beginning to think the situation over and trying to make a decision. But I want to talk about her mom, and she told her mom, related her past experiences to her and tried to make her reason along with her, saying, okay, don't make the same mistakes that I made. All right, my question to you is this. Do you always take that advice from your mom or your dad, as the case may be, when they say, oh, I've been through this before, I want you to learn from me? Or do you just say, well, maybe it didn't work out for you, but if I go that route, that doesn't mean it won't work out for me? Or must you take the advice they give you? Do you think the advice they give to you are so valuable that you have to use them? Answer the question in your mind. And if you like, answer the question and leave me a comment. Until next time, when I come your way again, I say, have a fantastic weekend and keep on reading. Grab the car keys and rush out of here. I read my book titled Colors of Love. Hello, you're welcome to my channel. Thank you so much for joining me again today. My name is Adeola. You're welcome to another episode of Olabooks Readers Reviews, where I have been reading my book titled Colors of Love. If you're joining me for the first time, check the description box below for links to previous episodes so you can understand the story and know where we're coming from. And I have a big shout out today to Matters of Opinion. Thank you for your comments. I was so impressed when I read that you said I inspired you to start reading, and I really appreciate you coming out like that. And also thank you for responding to the question I asked in the last episode. All right, okay, you all can check out Matters of Opinions link in the description below. You can check out his channel and see the amazing things he's doing there. All right, let's go straight into reading. I'm still reading Colors of Love. I'm thinking of switching to another story. Let me know what you think. If you want me to switch to another story right now, or you just want me to continue reading. Okay? In the last episode, I finished the reading of chapter 5. Today, I will continue reading Colors of Love, starting from chapter 6. The decision. This is what it looks like. This is the picture. So what is her decision going to be? All right, come on with me. Yenny came visiting again. She wanted to see Omolara before she went back to Nigeria. It was another excellent time for Carrie. Having her mother and her best friend with her for that weekend was a great joy. What a blessing to have such loving people around her. She had requested that her mother would visit her dad with her, but she refused. If he wanted to see me, he would come looking for me. I didn't come here to see him. I came to see you. Come on, Mom. It's just a visit, Carrie pestered. Can we talk about something else? This topic is boring, Omolara said. They went to the hair salon instead. After shopping, they went back home to watch a movie on LMA. Omolara was asleep before the movie was over. Carrie surmised that had it been a Nigerian movie, she wouldn't have fallen asleep in the middle of it. They had watched a series of Nigerian movies together the weekend before. This weekend with Yenny was awesome. They had a lot to talk about. Yenny had requested to move out of Tumi's home, and she had reasoned with her. Yenny told them about her new job as a hairdresser. She loved it. She would have loved to continue as a teacher like she was in Nigeria, but because her status in America was still that of a visitor, she couldn't. The Nigerian lady, who happened to be her sister's friend, had enrolled her as one of her apprentices. She learned very fast and graduated as a professional hairstylist. It was also easy for her to braid hair, and art she had perfected in high school years. She learned very fast and graduated as a professional hairstylist. It was also easy for her to braid hair. Fixing people's hair was easy for her. She seemed to have the perfect touch for every hairstyle. She only worked whenever she wanted to. What she was making was enough for her to pay bills and fend for herself. She was able to rent a room in a 3-bedroom apartment. One of her sister's colleagues rented a 3-bedroom apartment, but she only used one of the rooms. She sublet the other 2 rooms. That way, she was able to keep up with the bills. Yenny usually worked very hard for the first 2 weeks in the month to make enough for the booth she rented, her apartment rent, and utilities. She regularly worked 4 days a week for the next 2 weeks. She enjoyed her independent life. She had nobody to boss around. She knew how to do different kinds of braids and hairstyles. She had enough customers to be thankful for. She was usually booked out for the month by the 1st of every month. And her clients showed up regularly. If one didn't, she took walk-ins or called in bystanders. Whenever she had a booked up schedule for the month, she put some clients on the standby list, and she called them whenever she had a canceled appointment, which rarely happened. It's good to be good at what you do, Carrie said, as Jenny finished telling her about her job. You can say that again, Jenny replied. Her only regret was her immigration status. She had thought about going back to Nigeria before her visa expired, but didn't find it realistic. The experience she had there was too much for her. She had nothing to go back to but an empty lifestyle and old painful memories. She filed for an extension of stay. Another 6 months was approved. Hopefully, she would be able to exchange her immigration status before her 2-year visa would lapse. It was Carrie's turn to say something, and he was hesitating, and she was hesitating. So Jenny asked her what development there was in her relationship with Tosin. The moment the friend waited patiently for an answer. She told them she had made up her mind to forgive him and go on with the wedding as they had both planned. She said to them that she had a heart-to-heart discussion with him, and he confessed to her that he was dating her and Susan at the same time, because Susan wouldn't let go of him. He told her that he loved Carrie and would do anything to have her as his wife. He also told her he had broken up with Susan and would never hook up with her again. That was a promise. She said she thought about it and decided to forgive him since he had told her the truth and he had repented. Okay. Everyone ever sins sometimes. Besides, I still love him. He's my dream man. You need to see him pleading with me on his knees, shedding tears like a baby. That's my decision. What do you think? She expressed more of a conclusion than a question. Omolara and Jenny exchanged looks. They were both silent for a long time. When the silence became unbearable, Carrie walked to the window. She was staring at the empty winter streets, feeling as cold as the weather on the inside. Her loved one's silence could only mean disapproval. What would she do if she lost the love and friendship of her mother and her best friend? Would Tosin's love for her be able to fill in for theirs? Jenny walked up to her and put her hands around her. Is that your final decision? She asked. Carrie whispered, yes. I know. I would have loved to hear you say you were breaking up with him, but since you chose to go ahead with him, I have no choice but to respect your decision. Carrie was grateful. She gave her a big hug and said a big thank you. She walked over to her mother and asked her what she thought again. Her words were few. You want to marry him after I have shared my life story with you? My story didn't mean anything to you? Mom, the men in your life didn't want you. They chose other women over you. My man has chosen me over the other woman. I wouldn't let the other woman take my man away from me, Carrie concluded. I guess it's a competition, was Omalara's response. Well, her mother said, you have 3 examples to learn from. My story, Jenny's story, and your dreams. If after considering all of this, you still choose to marry him, then so be it. However, it would be my joy for you to break up this relationship. All right, so I am about to stop reading right now. Actually, I've stopped reading. And my comment right here is this. Is Tosin already Carrie's man? They are planning to get married. They are not yet married. They are not on the altar. But Carrie found out that he was dating another lady, actually Tosin was double dating, and Tosin said he will leave the other woman, he's going to marry Carrie. And Carrie is saying, oh, he's choosing me over her, so I am so impressed, and I love that. He is my man, I shouldn't let him go. Now answer that question, is he his man? When you are not married to a man, is he your man? When you're not married to a woman, is she your woman? Well, let me know what you think. Until next time when I come your way again, concluding the reading of chapter 6, keep on reading, keep on writing, and stay blessed. Bye. Grab the car keys and rush out of it. This is my book titled Colors of Love. Hi, thank you for joining me again today. You're welcome to another episode of Olabooks Readers Reviews, where I have been reading my book titled Colors of Love. All right, if you're joining me for the first time, I am inviting you to go to the description box below to link previous episodes of ORR, Olabooks Readers Reviews, where I have been reading Colors of Love right from the prologue all the way to chapter 6. So today I will conclude the reading of chapter 6, and the title of chapter 6 is Her Decision. So at the end of my reading today is going to mark the end of me reading Colors of Love. That doesn't mean the book has come to an end. It only means I've finished reading 6 good chapters out of Colors of Love. Colors of Love has 18 chapters, so I've just read 6 out of them. So, in the spirit of Thanksgiving, I will invite you to go also to the description box below, where you can link the Kindle edition of Colors of Love for only 99 cents. Yes, it is on sale for 99 cents right from Friday, which is today, November 20th, up till next Friday, November 27th, 2020. Okay, all in the spirit of Thanksgiving. And I should ask you this question: what are you thankful for? I know a lot has happened this year, and this is a year that we will not forget in a long, long time, okay? But there are reasons for you to be thankful. I am thankful for life. I am thankful for my family. I am thankful for a whole lot of things that God has done this year. I'm thankful for being healthy, a lot of things, look into your life also. There will be reasons for you to be thankful. Even if you're sick, even if you have lost a loved one, even if you have lost your job, there are still reasons for you to be thankful. One of them is your life, because when there is life, there is hope. With that being said, I will go straight into reading. I am ready to finish reading chapter 6, Her Decision. So I will start reading from page 57, and I'm starting from the 3rd paragraph. And this is Omolara asking her daughter a question. You want to marry him after I have shared my life story with you? My story didn't mean anything to you? Mom, the men in your life did not want you. They chose other women over you. My man has chosen me over the other woman. I wouldn't let the other woman take my man away from me, Carrie concluded. I guess it's a competition, was Omolara's response. Well, her mother said, you have 3 examples to learn from: my story, Jenny's story, and your dreams. If after considering all of this, you still choose to marry him, then so be it. However, it would be my joy for you to break up this relationship. I believe that's a yes. She hugged her mother as tears rolled from her eyes. It was coming true. She was getting married to a tall, handsome, dark-skinned guy. They would make an excellent family together. That night, Omalara couldn't sleep. She thought of finding out who the Susan girl was. That would not be at all easy. If it were in Nigeria, she would know some people who could do the job for her. But in Houston, Texas, she knew nobody. She thought of praying some more. Maybe God would change her daughter's mind from getting married to him. But God is not a magician. He breaks the human heart in his own time. How could this be happening to her daughter? She prayed wholeheartedly for her daughter's future. She left it all in God's hands and went to sleep. She had a dream, but when she woke up, she couldn't remember the dream. However, she felt a soothing calmness within her. She knew God was in control. That was why she had the right answer for Carrie the next morning. Carrie came to her room to bid her good morning. She also added that her mom shouldn't worry about her. She was old enough to know what was right for her. Omalara responded by saying, "You are right. You are old enough to choose what is right for you. That is why God gave you the repeated revelations, my story and Yenny's story. You know the truth about Tosin. God is allowing you to make a choice. I want you to know that marrying him is your choice, not mine, and not God's. Just remember that when you need God, he will be waiting for you. I am a human being. I cannot be there as much as God would, but I will do everything within my power to give you the support you need anytime. I love you, and I always will." I know you love me, Mom. That's why you came down here when you heard how brokenhearted I sounded on the phone. I will not let you down, I promise. My fear is not you letting me down. My fear is you letting God down. Whatever happens, you should know that you can always run to God in sincerity of heart. He will not despise you. She prayed with her and asked to see Tosin before she would leave the next day. As for Yenny, she had little or nothing to say. Your decision is my decision. You want it, and I'm with you on it. She hugged her friend goodbye early the next morning, making her promise she would be there first to know whenever there was a date set for the wedding. On her way back to Washington, D.C., Yenny was in deep thoughts. She was encouraged by the boldness with which Carrie made her decision. Yenny thought she made the wrong decision, no doubt about that, but she was bold about it, and she knew she would be ready for her challenge that might face her in the future. She asked herself several times why she chickened out of situations, froze at every problem, or refused to move on with her life whenever she faced a dead end. She thought about Ralph. She could mend fences with him and give him a chance. She would be cautious. She would use a different approach this time. She would use the church principles this time. She hoped it would work out. She was not ready to take the risk of giving in all her wifely duties before her marriage, and then end up broken without a wedding. Once bitten, twice shy. Never would it happen again. She had also thought about Tumi, her older sister, was blessed and favored. She had everything: money, beauty, children, good job, great husband, elegant lifestyle. What more could she think of? Some people still get it together in life despite ups and downs. She was sometimes jealous of her sister's family life. She should ask her a few questions someday. Why should she live with such a great lady and not have secrets of a successful family life? She had witnessed a couple of arguments between the couple, but the next minute they were back together, chatting and laughing. She thought that was awesome. There was an occasion when her sister was angry at her husband. She left the house for about 4 hours after the argument. Her phone was switched off and her husband was in a sweat. The kids were unaware, as they were in their playroom in the basement of the house. She was scared herself. Tumi eventually showed up. The couple was in their room for a long time, and when they came out, they seemed fine. She looked at them as a miracle. That was the kind of marriage she hoped to get in the nearest future. If it wasn't looking like it, then she wouldn't be going for it. Her flight would land in a little while. So she took a quick cat nap. All right, I just finished reading chapter 6 of Colors of Love. And like I said, when I started before I started reading, you can link the Kindle edition for only 99 cents in the description below. So, as usual, I have a quick comment. Carrie has made a decision. She told her mom, she told her friend, she said she was going into the marriage, despite all the warnings. I just want you to know that, decision making is not easy. And whatever decision you make, you should be ready to stand by it. The moment you make your decision, forget about the past, look forward and see what is going to happen next. And you should be ready to challenge whatever happens, because your decision is your decision. Nobody can make a major decision for you, especially when it comes to marriage. Maybe not only marriage, maybe in the choice of a job or a career, maybe, other things that really mean a lot to you. You might take your time to make a decision, but once your decision has been made, so be it. All right? I also like the attitude of Yenny. She said, well, you, my friend, I would have loved for you to say you are backing out of this relationship, but you say you're moving forward. I am with you on this. So you might have people around you like that. People do not have to think the way you think. People do not have to accept your advice. People do not have to do things your way. Everybody has a life. Whatever choices they made, it is your position as a friend, as a family, as someone close to them, to give them your support whenever it is needed. All right, so thank you so much for being a part of Colors of Love since I've started reading the prologue up till today. And for that reason, I have another giveaway. Watch out until next time when I come your way again, bringing you Olabooks Readers Reviews. And this time I will be reading another book or reviewing another book that I have written. Until then, I say be safe, prepare for Thanksgiving, and be thankful. Bye.